Okay, time to check in on the Alder. It's the middle of June, and I'm trying to wrap things up and get a usable boat going again, and then pick at the rest of the projects. The floor is the big thing that's outstanding right now for me, but I'm finishing off electrical right now. And so here's what I have: Blue Seas solution. So this is the start battery, and I've got a remote battery switch there. It's not completely hooked up yet, and you can see I've got a couple of posts to bolt onto the wall so I can actually hook that up. And then the cables run over here to the well, I've got the house battery here. I might have to add another house battery, but there's one here for now. And automatic control, automatic charge relay, and another remote battery switch, and a circuit breaker box down there, which will be for some of the devices that are below the deck here, such as the water pump, and a below deck light switch, and a few other things. And then there's a panel I've got here, and it's not finished yet. I'm waiting for the remote control battery switch panel, but essentially we've got a house battery live always, bilge pumps hooked up to that, and the battery switch will be hooked up to it. Then we've got the same thing for the start battery, and the start battery has the secondary bilge pump, and it'll have the battery switch on it. Then everything else is to the two posts below, which are coming off the house battery. This guy here just runs over to the starter and solenoid, because that's the starter switch. And so that's the only thing that really ends over there. So it's kind of what it looks like on the front, but there'll be a couple of switches in there soon. So if you follow the lines down, the wires down, we get that's the new alternator, 130 amp Leeson alternator with the new mount on it. And then the switches that were all up here are removed. There's still a switch panel up here that'll control things like the nav lights and the remote control spotlight, things like that. And of course I want to keep track of the engine status on here, and I might put a voltmeter over there, I'm not sure, but there'll definitely be a voltmeter on the on that new electrical panel I've got over here in the engine compartment. And you can see here I've got the floor up, and many of the wires go to the back. So for the stern light, for the macerator pump, for the wall light, that kind of thing, that all runs through the floor here. And then there's another set of wires that go up along the wall, and they're simply for the ceiling lights, the two on here and the one in the bathroom in the head, which aren't installed yet. And then there'll be one for the wall right here. It's got a line on the sink that'll be coming up. The toilet isn't quite installed yet, and this is what it looks like in here right now. It's a little disarray, but you can see the holding tank. So I've got a lot of buckets of chains in here for ballast right now because of that heavy tank on there. But I'm going to replace that with jerry cans of diesel, and just hunker it all down over here on the, secure it all down on the port side of the boat. So it'll balance it out somewhat, and I can use the fuel to move from one tank to the other manually for now. So all this plumbing in here is something that'll be done as soon as I get one more vented loop, and that's the update. So the stove, I know what kind of stovetop it needs. It's going to be a combination stovetop heater, which is a really sweet unit, but that's not happening right now. And then underneath that will be a fridge, and you can get these fridges with a drawer that pulls out, which is really nice, but that's not happening right now either. So the floor is going to be a real big deal pretty soon. I've got the mahogany for it, and I'm looking forward to getting it done. Oh yeah, and then of course there's the cabinet up here. This will have a GPS enabled screen in there, like an iPad or an Android device, and that'll be kind of sweet when that gets in there. And then I'll put doors on that to to hide it away in there. And there will be a table in here eventually. And I've got an idea how to do that. So I'm going to have to put some rigid bridges on here across the top of the prop so that I can support the table pedestals. And that'll be coming soon. And that's it.